Yo, peep this. You just clicked on let's view it, and now I'm Tyrone Cross. Welcome to my channel where I'm here to entertain you through my reactions of TikTok videos and discuss other topics that are important or interesting or maybe even taboo or hidden. So if you're a new viewer, all I ask is after this video, if you like how I do what I do, please subscribe, help my number grow, because other YouTubers have way more subscribers than me, but they really shouldn't. So now let's get into this video. But before I start running my mouth and making crybabies mad, I gotta say this video's for entertainment purposes only, or hopefully to open your mind. I do not condone hate, violence, or harassment towards anyone. So anything you do before, during, or after this video, you're on your own, bro. So now this video, it's gonna be entertaining. Why? Because it's of an LGBTQ member telling us why we're wrong about kids going to drag shows. And as you know, I know you know, they're gonna be some of the best entertaining points ever. So you already know, let's view it.
All right, Gregory, you clearly wanted my full attention. You now have it. There are some folks that have piped up in some comments, just like Gregory's, saying that basically, like, they're not against queer folks, but obviously, kids don't belong at drag shows, right? We can all agree that kids don't belong at drag shows because what they know of drag shows is that they're just these sexually explicit stripper shows or something like that with body humor and titties flying everywhere. And yes, those drag shows exist, but they are not all that drag is.
Are 3-year-old children right age for this? Yeah! Is this right education? Do even children understand that?
Well, at least they're not influencing the kids to dance for money. Oh.
Let's reframe the question. Let's say the question is not, should I take my small child to a drag show? Let's say the question is, should I take my small child to the new Angelina Jolie movie?
Oh yeah, this video is gonna be good. Anytime anyone can make a connection between drag shows and Angelina Jolie movies, is definitely worth listening to.
Here's the thing. There's probably a lot of people that say, well, that's not the same thing. But it is, you just don't know it yet. So you have already accepted the fact that an actor like Angelina Jolie can be different things at different times depending on the different roles that they play and the intended audience that that show is supposed to be for. Because you're probably not taking your 7-year-old to see Gia or Original Sin or Girl Interrupted. I don't know that you're going to be taking your 7-year-old to see something like Mr. and Mrs. Smith or Wanted. You might take your 7-year-old to see something like Eternals, and you would probably definitely take your 7-year-old to see something like Shark Tale. It's all about who the intended audience is, which informs what show is being put on, which informs how Angelina Jolie portrays herself in that role. It's the same thing with drag.
Are 3-year-old children right age for this?
And the thing is, you actually already know that because you've seen the work of people like Eddie Murphy and Patrick Swayze and Tom Hanks and Robin Williams, all of whom owe quite a bit of their career to having done drag.
Ain't none of those drag queens at these drag shows look like Eddie Murphy, Tom Hanks, or Robert Williams, but if any of those movie characters did look like the drag queens they're showing to the kids in real life.
Are 3-year-old children right age for this? Is this right
that movie would flop.
Publicly, where kids could see them. But you have decided that drag is an inherently sexual thing, because for a lot of people, they cannot separate the fact that sexuality and sex are two different things. While yes, sexual attraction may indeed be part of someone's intrinsic identity, it is not the entirety of that identity, and that is not the only way they experience that identity at all times. You being straight publicly doesn't mean you shouldn't be around kids just because a bunch of priests can't keep it in their pants.
What?
Just because you're straight, it doesn't mean you shouldn't be around kids because priests can't keep their penis in their pants? What does that even mean? We know there are pedophiles and all types of people. And guess what? Whenever there is one, we like to deal with them. Therefore, drag queens aren't special. They want to dance around half naked and sexually around kids. And guess what? We want to deal with it. Why should drag queens be the only people that have permission to be sexually inappropriate around kids? Explain that one, smart guy.
And to some of this other rhetoric that I am seeing in my comment section about like how I'm one of those reasonable homosexuals that people could have a good discussion with about their concerns, about queer folks existing in public spaces and their access to children, I just want you to know I am not one of those reasonable homosexuals. In fact, I am wildly unreasonable when it comes to being a topic of discussion, because you are not a topic of discussion. I don't think that someone else simply existing should be a topic of discussion. I just don't think that cisgender heterosexual people quite understand the difference between I was called names in school for a period of time. Yeah. Some people picked on me when I was younger and I was able to get over it, so you should too. And systemic homophobia. They're different.
There's systemic homophobia now? TikTok never lets me down. I love you, TikTok. Because of you, I have this wonderful room to entertain myself and my viewers in. Now, I want to say this, and a large part of that reason is because there is barely any homophobia. Everything they say is homophobia does not fit the definition of homophobia. I mean, let's take it to the extreme. If a man says, I do not like seeing two men be sexual together, that still does not qualify as homophobia. And most people ain't even really saying that. You want to know why? Because all of the gays, lesbians, and bisexuals are taking a back seat right now. It's all about the transgenders.
They're different. They're different. I also don't think that you quite realize what it feels like to be a topic of discussion, to have people that don't know you, that have never met you, that don't know anything about you other than that you're gay. And they think that gives them license to, one, assume a whole heck of a lot of things about you, two, make your entire existence about what you do or do not do in the bedroom, and three, decide what laws need to be passed so that you can exist in public spaces in a way that is pleasing and reasonable to them.
What?
Does this guy just sit there and create his own reality all day? We're the ones that want to talk about their sexuality all the time. We're the ones that make them equate to who they sleep with. So we made the rainbow flag and told you to never put it down. So we told you you should get a month and always celebrate it. So we told you you should have a hissy fit if someone misgenders you, even though you just made up a new gender on the spot. So we're the ones that say teachers should talk about all different types of sexuality. So we're the ones that want sports teams and all these big corporations to plaster themselves in rainbows. So we're the one that decided to make up all these pronouns. And when we introduce ourselves, we say, I'm a cis black heterosexual male. It's literally you guys that make your sexuality all of you. And you just projected that onto us? We've been dying for you guys to shut the fuck up for the longest. How dare you blame us for your whackness? I'm telling you, TikTok, you never let me down. I believe that's the first time in my life that I ever heard the LGBTQ community say, we are the ones that only want to talk about their sexuality. My mind's blown. And I don't know how people thought he was a rational gay guy, but he's very proud to be irrational. And that right there is not rational.
So just go ahead, and if you thought that I was one of those reasonable gays, let me just disabuse you of that notion. Thank you, goodbye.
Out of that whole clip, that was the one goal that he did accomplish. We do not think he is a rational gay guy at all. Congratulations. Mission accomplished. Let's go back to his original comparison with Angelina Jolie and drag shows. I have never took my kid to see an Angelina Jolie movie so that she can dance for them and she can give them money. Although I would have loved to take myself to see Angelina Jolie so she could dance for me and I give her money. I'm just joking. I can already see my girl getting mad. But anyways, as you can see, He's just full of shit. Everything he said was literally wrong, except for the last 2 sentences when he said he'll prove to us that he's irrational. So now that we know that, all I need you guys to do is comment below. Tell me what you think. Are drag shows like Angelina Jolie movies? Did anything this guy say make sense? Except for the last 2 sentences? But while you're telling me your thoughts, share the video. And while you share the video, I'm also gonna need you to hit that bell like the hunchback. Also click that hitchhiker button and subscribe with me. And I'll see you on the next trip.
Day and night. Keep it real. Keep it real. Keep it real.